What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about one fighter from each division in the UFC that needs to be cut. Now, do I think all of these guys should actually be cut from the sport? No. Should they all be fucking Mikhaev maxing and sent to Brave FC? No. But I left a post up the other day. I said, which videos do you guys want to see? Top 3 with the most likes, I'll do. One of them was someone saying pick a fighter from each division that you should get cut if they had to. So yeah, this is going to be one ranked fighter from each division. Obviously, it'll be easy to pick some fucking 2 and 6 unranked bantamweight that should get cut. But no, we're going to make the tough decisions, and I'm going to decide if you had to cut one top 15 fighter from every division, who would it be? You guys let me know if you agree with my predictions my picks, my selections in the comments. You leave yours down below. Who would you see cut from the sport if you had the choice? And yeah, let's get into it. And hopefully you guys don't get butthurt if I say that your favorite fighter should be cut from the sport. It's a joke. But let's move on to the video. Flyweight, if you had to cut someone, although I would love to cut, the Amir Al-Bazis of the division, for no particular reason, I'm gonna say Mateusz Nicolau is probably the person that you would be able to afford to cut, and it really wouldn't impact the division at all. I mean, look, a bunch of the lower ranked flyweights, no one really cares. I was thinking about Matt Schnell, but Matt Schnell actually provides value to the division. He gets highlight reel KO'd and makes people think that Steve Erceg is a one-shot KO power guy. Steve Erceg's a phenomenal fighter, not a one-shot KO guy. Matt Schnell made people think Erceg has fucking Ngannou power at flyweight. So yeah, Schnell actually has some value, but Mateusz Nicolau, I actually used to really like him after he fought Schnell. Again, case in point, fucking Matt Schnell made me think Nicolau was some deadly striker. I guess I was just a bit of a casual at the time. I hadn't seen him fight much before that. I was like, what the fuck, this dude just this guy just picked apart Schnell and KO'd him. I knew Schnell wasn't that good, but I'm like, you don't really get KOs at flyweight. Is anyone else doing this? Then obviously I found out a lot of other people are doing this. But yeah, Nicolau just lost his last fight by KO to Perez, lost his fight before that by KO to Royval. Look, am I saying that they should actually cut him? No, but again, for the purposes of the video, if you had to pick one fighter at flyweight to cut, I mean, you could go with the Tim Elliott's, but Elliott's a bit more of a well-known name. He's a bit of a better test for the prospects coming up. There's a lot of guys you could cut at flyweight where the division is not that deep, so you really wouldn't notice much. No one's gonna be oh my god, this division's really missing the presence of fucking Asuel Mabayev or some shit like that. No, we're really missing the presence of Matt Schnell or Mateusz Nicolau, Tim Elliott, all these guys. No one's really gonna care. But yeah, flyweight, my selection is Mateusz Nicolau. I don't think the UFC really needs to keep him around, but I mean, they're gonna keep him around, of course. Let's move on though to the bantamweight division. Bantamweight, if you had to cut someone, I think Rob Font is the guy. Look, do I think Rob Font should be cut? Absolutely not. He's a very fun fighter. He's valuable to the company in terms of he's got fun fights. He's a pretty decently known name. He's used as a stepping stone for a lot of these prospects. But do I think he's a vital addition to the top 15? No. Rob Font has not fought since August last year, I'm pretty sure, since the Sandhagen fight. I know he fought Figgy. Yeah, sorry, he lost to Figgy. He's on he's lost 4 out of his last 5, I'm pretty sure. Let me know. Apart from the Yanez fight, I think he's lost his last 4. So yeah, is he some guy on a hot streak? No. Is he a prospect? No. Is he he's a bit of a vet, but he's a crafty vet, as Lucas Tracy would say. But is he that well known of a veteran? Is he a Dominic Cruz or a Jose Aldo or one of these guys where you see them on a card, you're damn bro, that's a legend, I gotta tune in? No one's damn, you gotta tune in for this legend of the sport Rob Font fight. If you're a hardcore fan, you'll watch, but casuals probably really don't know Rob Font. Cruz is another guy that you could cut, but at that point, Cruz isn't really taking up a roster spot. He's just there. I mean, somehow he's still holding on to a ranking, but I don't view him as an active fighter. His last fight was in 2022. So yeah, if I had to say pick one fighter to be cut that I don't think would cause that much of a negative impact on the division, I'm gonna go with Font. Again, I do think he should obviously be kept around, but for the purposes of the video, we're cutting someone. So yeah, Rob Font, you gotta go, buddy. Let's move on though to the featherweight division. Next up for featherweight, now I'm not opposed to cutting Movsar Evloev from the sport, given that he is a Dagestani wrestler who's undefeated, much like Muhammad Mikhaev. There's not much difference between the two, to be honest. I guess Evloev does stand a bit more. Evloev's not quite as pathetically crotch sniffy. But I think if you had to actually pick someone, if we're being realistic, Edson Barboza can go. Look, I love Barboza. He's a great fighter. I picked him against Murphy. I picked him against Sadiq Yusuf. I think I picked him in most of his last fights, but that Murphy fight was just an indication he doesn't really have it anymore. And this is not because I think he doesn't offer value, because in the UFC's eyes, this dude's a veteran that they can give to up-and-comers. You already know they're going to fucking give this dude to, like, Gene Silva or some shit. And even though I love Gene Silva, that's going to be tough to watch because he's going to murder Edson Barboza. Or, like, they'll give him to, like, Chepe Mariscal, or they'll give him to, like... And he'll get wins, and then he might get some KOs from here and there, like Billy Q and stuff like this, and people will be like, man, Edson's a savage, you don't want to mess with Barboza. But, like, anyone with, like, actually fundamentally good boxing and grappling can just beat this dude. Like, Damon Jackson probably's got a good chance of securing a fucking 29-28 split decision with back control. Like, that's what we're looking at this point. But Barboza, I'm a big fan of his fighting. He's a great fighter. It's not like I'm cutting him because he's boring, but it's more because I feel, this is my opinion, not what the UFC would actually do, but in my opinion, I don't want to see Barboza just keep getting fed to these prospects, and and while he has a ranking next to his name, if he has a number next to his name, the UFC's gonna just put him in main events against up-and-comers. You already know they're main eventing fucking Barboza versus, like, Haider Emil at the Apex or some shit coming to you in 2025. Like, it's gonna be tough to watch. He's gonna get done up a couple times. He's gonna get just finished bad a few times probably as well. It's gonna go from getting beaten up in a decision loss to, like, he's actually gonna start getting finished badly because his head movement's not there. His boxing defense is awful. He throws out lazy jabs and just keeps getting countered, and it's tough to watch. So yeah, Barboza, I think you could cut him more for sympathy rather than, like, the fact that he's not, like, a good fighter, or that he's boring or any of that stuff. He's a great fighter, but I do kind of want to see him just avoid the damage and the CT that's going to come with the next couple years of his career if he stays in the UFC. But let's move on to the lightweight division. Lightweight, Jalen Turner, get out of here, buddy. You're 14-8. You lost to fucking Renato Moicano. Apart from KOing Bobby Green, who came in on short notice. Oh no, you came in on short notice, to be fair. Alright, never mind. But apart from KOing Bobby Green, who's not good, and submitting fucking 5'4" midget, part-time fighter, full-time coach, Brad Riddell, with a guillotine, that's all you've done in your fucking career, basically. You finished Jamie Mullarkey. Like, sick. Jamie Mullarkey's fucking awful. Like, I could probably chin Jamie Mullarkey if I landed a clean shot. Just someone edit me over Jamie Mullarkey's unconscious body. But Jalen Turner, he really isn't that good. He's not bringing that much hype to fights. Like, yeah, cool. You'll see a Jalen Turner fight announcement. You'll be like, sick, Jalen Turner. All right, cool. We're going to see this 6'3" weight bully try and make lightweight again, probably miss by a pound and a half, and then get a TKO win. Or he'll just lose because at the fucking soonest sign of adversity, or if things don't go his way, he immediately just quits, and that's a fact, because you can't tell me that a dude who was just tuning up and piecing up Dan Hooker is gonna fucking, like, how do you lose that fight? Like, Dan Hooker's a tough motherfucker, but, like, you're clearly better than Dan Hooker. The only reason you lost is because you were like, fuck, I can't be bothered trying to punch this dude anymore and just gritting down. I'm just gonna let him beat me up and lose. Like, almost got finished as well. Like, how quickly he just gave up against Dan Hooker. Sorry, that's just, he did give up. And then Moicano, bro thought he was going to get a walk-off fucking 300k bonus, tried to hit the walk-off KO, complains to the ref when he didn't stop the fight, and then ends up losing by TKO, just gets held down by Moicano. I like Moicano, but Moicano is not all that in my opinion either. So yeah, Jalen Turner, I really don't think he offers that much to the division anymore. It's just going to cost the UFC, like, stuff, because he's just going to miss weight every second fight. He'll make weight and they'll be like, see guys, I can make 55, I promise, and then he'll miss weight his next fight, he'll weigh in at 158. Like, that's just what's going to happen with Jalen Turner. He's just causing hassles a lot of the time. Even though he did beat Bobby Green, he literally was like, nah, I don't want to take the fight. Like, he doesn't have the right attitude to fighting, in my opinion. So yeah, this is one of the ones where, like, I know for the other selections, like Font and like Rob Font, I'm not saying to actually cut Rob Font. Genuinely, I would not be opposed if they cut Jalen Turner. Either send him up to welterweight or just cut him completely, and he can go fucking fight in PFL. Give him Cedric Doumbé at welterweight in the PFL. Like, that's what they should fucking do with this guy. But anyway, let's move on to the welterweight division. Now, if I had it my way, I would cut Colby Covington because he's a bitch and he's just holding up the division. He's preventing cool fights from being made. He's ducking fights. fights. This is all my opinion, of course. Colby Covington, I would cut him personally, but if you're going based off somewhat realism and also probably should kind of be cut, Vicente Luque, not because I don't think he's valuable, he's a sick fighter, right? But at this stage in his career, he was just booked to fight Nick Diaz. Thank God that didn't happen. But like, who's he gonna fight? We're gonna do Randy Brown versus Vicente Luque or some shit. I don't even know what they're for, but like Vicente Luque versus like, who's he gonna fight? Like, I don't know, Danny Barlow? Is that what's gonna happen? Is that gonna be Danny Barlow's ticket to the fucking top 15? They're gonna feed Luque to him and get him like a first round TKO because Luque had a fucking brain bleed and can't like actually fight properly anymore. Like, I feel bad for Luque, man. He's a great fighter. He's a sick fighter. This is not a case of me going, oh, this guy's boring, you need to cut him, he's not offering any entertainment or something like that. No, it's just Luque's gonna lose, and I think if you're like, he's gonna lose fights, he might win a couple, but it's clear that like the RDA fight, RDA doesn't really knock people out, and also that fight he grappled a bunch, but it, like, Jeff Neal fight was obviously when he got that brain bleed. Buckley, he just got punched really hard once and then just shelled up and quit. And it's tough because Luque is not a quitter. It's not what he doesn't want to quit in fights, but it's like the damage that he took, that's costing him now, and that's turning him into someone who just really can't grit down and actually fight through adversity anymore, which is sad. So yeah, UFC should cut or Vicente Luque, or just like, don't like cut him, but just don't re-sign him. When just say, bro, look, you've had a good career, you've been a really fun fighter for us, you've had some not Hall of Fame, but you've had some Fight of the Night, Fight of the Year candidates and all that, you've had some sick bangers, right? You've entertained the fans, but for your health, I think you should leave the sport. So yeah, Vicente Luque, I think he should leave. Colby Covington, I want to cut him because he's a fucking bitch. He's annoying. His character and personality is just the most cringe thing ever. You're not even Trump's top 3 favorite fighters, buddy. How's that feel? Masvidal. Trump literally likes Masvidal more than you. Like, that's tough. Colby's just in his room fucking crying on ads. He's jerking off to some fucking Donald Trump poster. He's crying about Trump not being Trump's favorite fighter. So yeah, Colby's a pussy as well. Cut him. But Luque, I just feel bad. Anyway, let's move on to the middleweight division. Next up, middleweight. Roman Dolidze, get out the sport, brother. You offer nothing to this division. Roman Dolidze is awful. I mean, you could just use him as a punching bag for people, but like other guys that I was thinking, like, nah, Hermansson's got some value. Vettori's still a bigger name. Like, you don't want to cut Vettori because Vettori's a guy that you can feed to prospects and be like, see, look, he beat former title challenger Marvin Vettori. But Roman Dolidze is shit. Like, you'll just show some highlights of him KOing Phil Hawes and TKOing Hermansson from a calf slicer back mount, and then that's his entire fucking highlight reel. He beat Anthony Smith, congrats. Fun fact, Max Holloway and Roman Dolidze are the only 2 fighters that are currently ranked in 2 men's divisions. That's a terrible statistic. But yeah, Roman Dolidze, really, he's a terrible fighter. He's awful. Really doesn't offer anything unless you're just going to give him power punches and get him KO'd. That'd be more than fine by me. Or just get him beaten up by guys that you want to make look good. That's cool, but I don't know. Dolidze, as far as middleweight goes, just really doesn't offer anything to the division. If Paul Craig was still ranked, I would have said Paul Craig, but at least Paul Craig offers some entertainment, because you're like, yeah, Craig's gonna either pull off some wacky submission or he's just gonna get beaten up. But like, Dolidze's fights just aren't even fun. Let's move on though to the light heavyweight division. Anthony Smith, on paper, I shouldn't be cut. On paper, my career is just getting started. And if you overturned all my wins to losses, my losses to wins, that's the CTE kicking in. On paper, I would have a 50-0 record, and I would be the goat of the spot. But if all my losses were wins, of course. Anthony Smith, sorry, buddy, we're not on paper. We are firmly not on paper. We're on cardboard here, mate, and we're not seeing the on-paper Anthony Smith ever. You subbed Vitor Petrino, cool. Vitor Petrino's not ranked, otherwise he would have been the guy, and I would have said cut any man that loses by finish to Anthony Smith. So that being said, also Ryan Span's not ranked, so I can't do Span. Span and Petrino, both of them need to get out the sport and fucking go lift mattresses, because that's a random job that came to my head. Like, go be a fucking delivery driver, go be a furniture mover from a house or some shit, be the guy that just moves into couches and stuff. Like, that's the only hope you guys have, because you lost to Anthony Smith in combat, so that's tough. But Anthony Smith, yeah, cut him from the fucking don't like cut him fully from the sport, but like prevent this dude from just embarrassing himself further, having more fucking CT, you know, on my best day, if I show up correctly, you know, if I show up at my peak, I beat all of these guys, and they know that, and that's why they get so mad when I say it. Like, stop Anthony Smith from just having a reason to start yapping. Stop acting like you're a fucking legend of the sport. This guy's on Believe You Me talking with Bisping like he's also a fucking champion. Like, buddy, your highlight was getting kneed in the face by John Jones. You lost like 48-43 or some shit in that fight. But yeah, Anthony Smith is awful. And also, I hate Anthony Smith because the most not two most recent, but like UFC 301 and UFC 303, this dude cost me sweeping those cards on picks twice. 301, I picked Petrino and he lost, and then 303, I picked Smith and he lost. So yeah, both of those times cost me from getting a sweep on picks, which was unfortunate. So yeah, Anthony Smith, fuck out of here. Let's move on though to the last division, heavyweight. Heavyweight, Alexander Romanov. I said, wow, this guy's obese. Oh my goodness. He's such a fat man. I don't know, that was my very poor Trump impression. I can't do a Trump impression. But Alexander Romanov, the Marshmallow Man himself, the Muffin Man, you could call him. But yeah, Romanov, he's just an absolute blob of a human. He's an embarrassment to the sport. He's lost, I think his last two or three, because he lost three, I think, because he lost to Tabora, he lost to Volkov, and he lost to Almeida, the cow tipper, fat man strangler. Almeida's the fat man strangler, that's what we call him. But yeah, Romanov, look, we gave him a bit of a pass for the Tabora fight because, you know, he tossed around Tabora in round 1, 10-8'd him, then gassed at altitude. You should never put a blob at altitude unless you just want it to be funny. Gazia versus Volta Walker at altitude, make it happen. Salt Lake City main event. But yeah, you can't be losing to Volkov's real good, but like you can't be getting finished by Volkov in round 1. Especially given like you shot a takedown and immediately quit as soon as he stuffed it. And then Almeida, you got tipped over. Like, wrestling, grappling's meant to be your game, buddy. And this dude who's 30 pounds lighter than you, actually in shape, you're just a fat man, just tipped you over and strangled you, took you back. I'm surprised Almeida could even could fucking fit his legs around this fat man's frame. There's too much blubber there, bro. He probably lost his fucking legs in the belly rolls. But yeah, not Almeida. Romanov, cut him from the fucking sport is an embarrassment. Honestly, I was going to come on here and be like, yeah, just cut like the entire back end of the heavyweight division. Apart from like Lewis. Honestly, apart from Lewis, yeah, just cut every single 10 to 15 ranked heavyweight. But yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Quickish one for you today. I didn't yap as much as I have in some of my other videos, trying to keep it brief. But yeah, leave some more video ideas you guys want to see in the comments. I'll do the most liked ones. So yeah, if you guys want other people's video ideas to get made and you like them, then you should like their comment and then I might do it. But yeah, peace out, guys. Like, subscribe, follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.